his qualities to Arjuna. The microphone. Lord Krishna is saying to Arjuna, Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Bhuya eva mahabahu, Shru me paramam vachaha, Yatte aham priyamanya, Vakshashyami hitakamaya.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna. Because you are my dear friend, for your benefit I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained."
Text 2, chapter 10. Name vidhu suragana, prabhavam na maharshaya, aham adihi devana, marshinam cha sarvasham.
Neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and the sages.
So now Lord Krishna is saying that he is the host of all the demigods. He is the origin of everything. Aham adi devana. Yo mam ajam anadim cha veti loka maheshwaram asamuddha cha asamuddhas murteshu sarva pape pramuchyate.
He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginless, and as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all the sins.
Text 4 and 5, chapter 10. Buddhirjnanam asamoha kshama satyam dama samaha sukham dukkham bhavo abhavo bhayam cha bhayam eva cha ahimsa samata tushtis tapodhanam yasho yashaha bhavanti bhavabhutanam mata eva prathavidaha.
Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone.
So Krishna is giving all these wonderful qualities, they are coming from Krishna. Marshaya sapta purve chatvaro manasa tatha madhabhava manasa jata yesham loka imam praja.
The seven great sages, and before them the four other great sages and the Manus, who are the progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them.
So everything is coming from Manu, is also coming from Krishna, who is the father of the mankind. Etam vibhuti yogam cha mama yo veti tattvataha. So avilkalpena yogena yujyate natra samshaya.
One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Aham sarvasya prabhu mattam sarva pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samarvita.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Everything aham sarvasya prabhu. Everything is coming from Krishna. So one who understands will do Krishna Bhakti. Machitamatagata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayanshasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
So devotees of Lord Krishna always talk about Krishna. They don't talk about anything else because they enjoy and get satisfaction by talking about Krishna. Further, Lord Krishna is explaining about Vibhuti Yoga. Tesham satate yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayanti te.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Krishna is there in our heart. So if we do worship Krishna sincerely, He will guide us from within the heart. तेषामेव अनुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानतं जन्तमः न संशयमि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
So Krishna removes the darkness if we sincerely think about Him and remember Him. Chapter 10, text 12 and 13. Arjuna Vacha Param Brahma Param Dham Pavitram Paramam Navam Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevan Ajam Vibhum Ahustvam Rishayam Sarve Devarshi Naradastatha Ashito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Brahmishime.
Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narad, Asit, Devala, and Vyas confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
So here, Arjuna is saying, everybody is saying, but now you are declaring, so I believe it completely now. Text 14. Sarvam etartam manye yadmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidurdeva nadanava.
O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
It's very difficult. Swayam eva atmana vetatvam purushottama bhuta bhava bhuteshu deva deva jagatpate.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
वक्तुं महर्षि अशेषेण दिव्य हि आत्मविभूतया याभिर्विभूतिर्लोकान् इमं त्वं व्याप्य तिष्ठसि.
Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds.
So now Arjuna is saying, please tell me more about your opulences. So Lord Krishna is saying, Arjuna is saying, Katham vidyam aham yogim stvam sada parichintayam keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyo ashi bhagavan maya.
O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Arjuna is asking for the benefit of us. He's saying how we can think of Krishna always. So he's saying, please tell me how can we remember you always. So further he's asking, O Janardana, Vistarena Atmano Yogam Vibhutim Cha Janardana Bhuya Kathaya Triptirhi Shravато Nasti Me Amrutam.
O Janardana, again, please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satired in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Yes, it is so true. So Lord Krishna is now explaining his vibhuti, his opulences to Arjuna. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Antate Kathashyami Divyahi Atma Vibhutaya Pradhanyantah Kuru Shrestha Nastiyanto Vistarayasya.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless."
Krishna's opulences are unlimited, but now he's going to describe prominent one. So he's saying, text 20, Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarvabhutasya Stita Aham Adischa Madhyamcha Bhutanam Anta Evacha.
I am the super soul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings.
Further he's saying, Adityanam Aham Vishnu Jyotisham Ravir Asmujmam Marichir Martam Ashmi Nakshatranam Aham Shashi.
Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Maruts, I am Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon.
So now Krishna is explaining prominent one. There are 12 Adityas, among them prominent is Vishnu, like that. So among the stars, prominent is moon, so that is what Krishna is. So when we see that, we remember Krishna. Text 22. Vedanam samavedosmi devanam asmi vashava indriyanam manaschashmi bhutanam ashmi chetasa.
Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of demigods, I am Indra, king of heaven. Of senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force.
Rudranam Shankarachasmi Vetesho Yaksharakshasham Vashunam Pavakaschashmi Merush Shikharinam Aham.
Of all the Rudras, I am Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of Wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am fire. And of mountains, I am Meru.
Prominent manifestation. Text 24. Purodhasham cha mukhyam mam vidhi partha brahaspatim Shenani aham skanda sarasam asmi sagara.
Of priests, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brahaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya. And of bodies of water, I am the ocean.
Marshinam Raghur Aham Giram Asmi Ekamaksharam Yagnanam Japa Yagnosmi Thavaranam Himalaya.
Of the great sages, I am Bhruhu. Of vibrations, I am the transcendental Om. Of sacrifices, I am the chanting of holy names. And of immovable things, I am the Himalayas.
So here it says Yagnanam Japo Asmi Yagnosmi. Japa Yagnosmi means Bhagavan ka naam jo jap karte hain, which is nothing but Krishna himself. Text 26. Ashvastha sarva vrikshana devarshinam cha narada gandharvanam chitrartha siddhanam kapilo muni.
Of all trees, I am the banyan tree, and of sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapil.
Uchcheshravasam ashvanam vidhimam amrito bhavam airavatam gajendranam naranam cha naradipam.
Of horses, know me to be Uchcheshrava, produced during the churning of the ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavat, and among men, I am the monarch.
Text 28. Ayudhanam aham vajram dhenunam asmi kamadhuka prajnanascha asmi kandarpa sharpanam asmi vasuki.
Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surbi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki.
Vasuki snake. Ananta Chashmi Nagana Varuno Yadasham Aham Pitranam Aryama Chashmi Yama Samayamatam Aham.
Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death.
Text 30. Prahlada Chashmi Daityana Kala Kalyataham Aham Murganam Cha Mrugendro Aham Vainateyascha Pakshinam.
Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subduers, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda.
Lord Krishna says, Kalashmi, he is the time. Text 31. Pavana Pavatam Ashmi Rama Shastra Vritam Aham Jashanam Makaras Jashmi Stotrasam Asmi Janani.
Of purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapon, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges, Ganga.
Sarganam Adiranantascha Madhyam Chaivaham Arjuna Adhyatma Vidyana Vada Pravadatam Aham.
Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Aksharanam Karo Asmi Dvandha Samakshiya Suja Aham Evakshaya Kalo Dhata Aham Vishwato Mukha.
Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma.
So here Krishna is explaining how he is situated. Mrityu sarvaharashchaham udbhavascha bhavishyatam kirtiya srirvakacha narina srutirmeda kritakshamaha.
I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience.
So he says that he is the Mrityu sarvaharashchaham. He can come in the form of death also. Brihad Sama Tatha Sammanam Gayatri Chandana Sam Aham Masanam Marga Sirshoham Ritudam Kusuma Karaha.
Of the hymns in Samaveda, I am the Brit Sama, and of poetry, I am the Gayatri. Of months, I am a Marg Shirsha, and of seasons, I am flower bearing spring.
So here Lord Krishna is saying how he is there in the seasons also. Dhyutyam chalayatam asmi tejas tejasvinam aham jayo asmi vyavasayo asmi sattvam sattvatam aham.
I am also the gambling of cheats, and of the splendid, I am the splendor. I am victory, I am adventure, and I am the strength of the strong.
So Lord Krishna is the strength of the strong people. So when we see somebody powerful, we remember Krishna. Vrishninam vasudevosmi pandavanam ahanam jaya muninam api aham vyasa kavinam ushna kavi.
Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudev, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana.
Text 38. Dando damayantam asmi, nitir asmi jigisatam, maunam chaivasmi guyanam, jnanam gnatvatam aham.
Among all means of suppressing lawlessness, I am punishment, and of those who seek victory, I am morality. Of secret things, I am silence, and of wise, I am wisdom.
Text 39. Yachapi sarvabhutanam bijam tad arjuna na tad asti vina yatsya maya bhutan characharam.
Furthermore, O Arjuna, I am the generating seed of all existences. There is no being, moving or non moving, that can exist without me.
So everything is based on Krishna. Your Krishna himself declaring it. Nanto atimam divyanam vibhutinam parantapah Isha tu deshatah prokto vibhutir vistaro maya.
O mighty conqueror of enemies, there is no end to my divine manifestations. What I have spoken to you is but a mere indication of my infinite opulences.
Further, Lord Krishna is telling to Arjuna, Yada yada vibhutimat sattvam Srimad urjitam eva Tada tada eva gachatvam Mama tejo amsa sambhavam.
Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Everything is coming from Krishna. This is the last sloka of the 10th chapter. Athava bahunaitena kim gnatena tavarjuna visthavyaham idam krishnam ekam shena sthito jagat.
But what need is there, Arjuna, for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe.
So Krishna is saying that everything is supported by and everything is maintained by Krishna. So thus ends the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now we are entering to the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the Vishwarupa, universal form of Lord Krishna, is being demonstrated by Krishna to Arjuna. And Arjuna wants to see this, so he requests Krishna. So after hearing all this vibhuti, then Arjuna says to Lord Krishna, Arjuna vacha mad anugrayam paramam guhyam adhyatma samhritam yatatraktotam vachasatena mohoyam vigato mamaha.
Arjuna said, by my hearing the instructions you have kindly given me about these most confidential spiritual subjects, my illusion has now been dispelled.
Moho ayam vigato mama. My illusion is gone. But he's saying further. What is he saying further? Bhavapyayu hi bhutana shruto vistaraso maya tvatva kamala patraksha mahatmayam api cha avyayam.
O lotus-eyed one, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance and disappearance of every living entity and have realized your inexhaustible glories.
So Arjuna has realized, now he's saying further, Evam etad yathatmatvam atmanam parameshvaraha drashtum ichhami te rupam drashtum ichhami te rupam aishwaryam purushottamah.
O greatest of all personalities, O supreme form, though I see you here before me in your actual position, as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours.
So he's saying, I want to see everything. Why he wants to see? Because somebody may ask in the future, oh, Arjuna just heard, has he seen it? So he's asking for the benefit of all of us. So he's saying, Manyase yadi tat chakyam maya drashtumiti prabhu Yogeshwara tato me tvam darsyartamatmanam avyayam.
If you think that I am able to behold your cosmic form, O my Lord, O Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self.
So here Arjuna is saying, please show me Vishwarupa. So भगवान क्या कहते हैं? भगवान कहते हैं पश्य मे पार्थ रूपाणि सततो शतशो अथ सहस्रशः नाना विधानि दिव्यानि नाना वर्णकृतीनि च.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, O son of Pritha, see now my opulences, hundreds of thousands of varied divine and multicolored forms.
So now he is going to show his Vishwarupa to Arjuna, and he's saying, please see my variety of forms. But then he's saying that Pashyadityam vasum rudram ashvino marutastatha bahuni drashta purvani pashya pashyaranani bharata.
O best of the Bharatas, see here the different manifestations of Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Ashwini Kumars, and all the other demigods. Behold the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard of before.
इहैके स्थानं जगत्कृष्णं पश्यद्य सचराचरं मम देहे गुडाकेश यच्चान्यद् द्रष्टुम् इच्छसि.
O Arjuna, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine. This universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in future. Everything, moving and non-moving, is here completely in one place.
So here Krishna is saying, I'm going to show you everything, but now he is going to give him the Divya Drashti. So he's saying, Na tu mam sankhya drashtum aninaiva swachakshusha divya dadami te chakshu pashe me yoga aishwaryam.
But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence.
So he's giving him, what is he saying? Divyam dadami te chakshu. I'm giving you Divya Chakshu so that you can see me in the universal, Vishwarupa. At that time, Sanjaya is telling to Dhritarashtra, Sanjaya vacha eva mutto tato rajan mahayogeshwaro hari darshayam asa parthaya paramam rupam aishwaryam.
Sanjaya said, O king, having spoken thus, the Supreme Lord of all mystic power, the personality of Godhead, displayed his universal form to Arjuna.
So now Sanjaya is also seeing this Vishwarupa because he has been also given Divya Drashti. So now he is describing this Divya Rupa to Dhritarashtra. He's saying what is Arjuna saying is same thing as Sanjaya describing. So Sanjaya is saying Aneka Vaktram Nayanam Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam Aneka Divya Bharanam Divya Aneka Dayat Yudham Divya Malam Bharadharam Divya Gandhanu Lepanam Sarvacharya Mayam Devam Antaram Anantam Vishwato Mukham.
Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouths, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful visions. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine praised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. All was wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding.
So we are seeing now universal form through Arjuna. Actually, we are lucky to hear this through Bhagavad Gita. So at this time, we are also taking the darshan of Vishwarupa. भगवान के हम विश्वरूप के दर्शन कर रहे हैं अभी. तो यहाँ पे सब डिस्क्रिप्शन है. हमें बस सिर्फ इमेजिन करना है कैसे दिख रहे हैं भगवान. दिवि सूर्य सहस्रस्य भवेद युगापन उत्थिता यदि बाहा सदृशी स यश्यद भाषस्तस्य महात्मना.
If hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form.
So जैसे कि हजारों सूर्य साथ में आ गए, इतना तेज निकल रहा था. तत्रैकस्थं जगत कृष्णं प्रवि प्रविभक्तम् अनेकधा अपश्यत देवदेवस्य शरीरे पाण्डवस्तदा.
At the time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansions of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands.
So Arjuna is seeing universal form, multiple forms, and then there is a huge light coming, so which is blinding everybody else, but only Arjuna is able to see it and Sanjay is able to see it. Text 14. Tatha sa vishmayo vishto hristaroma dhananjaya pranamya shirasa deva kritanjalir abhashata.
Then, bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisances and with folded hands began to pray to the Supreme Lord.
So Arjuna is praying to Krishna. Pashyami devam stava deva dehe sarvastham tatha bhuta vishesha sangam brahmanam isham kamalashanam sthanam rishim cha sarvan uragham cha divyam.
Arjuna said, My dear Lord Krishna, I see assembled in your body all the demigods and various other living entities. I see Brahma sitting on the lotus flower, as well as Lord Shiva and all sages and the divine serpents.
So Arjuna is seeing all the devtas, Devi devtas within the body of Krishna. And he's saying, Oh Lord of the universe, Aneka Bahudra Vaktra Pashyami Tvam Sarvato Anantarupam Na Nantam Na Madhyam Na Punastvadim Pashyami Vishveshwara Vishwarupa.
O Lord of the universe, O universal form, I see in your body many, many arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes, expanded everywhere without limit. I see in you no end, no middle, no beginning.
Kiritanam Gadinam Chakrinam Cha Tejo Rishim Sarvato Diptimantam Pashyami Tvam Durnikashyam Samatad Diptalankara Dyutim Aprameyam.
Your form is difficult to see because of its glaring effulgence, spreading on all sides like blazing fire or immeasurable radiance of the sun. Yet, I see this glowing form everywhere adorned with various crowns, clubs, and discs.
Tvam Aksharam Paramam Veditvam Tvam Asya Vishwasya Paramam Nidhanam Tvam Avyayam Shashvata Dharma Gopta Sanatanas Tvam Purusho Mato Me.
You are the supreme primal objective. You are the ultimate resting place of all this universe. You are inexhaustible and you are the oldest. You are the maintainer of the eternal religion, the personality of Godhead. This is my opinion.
Anadimadhyam Ananta Viryam Ananta Bahum Sashurya Netram Pashyami Tam Dipta Utas Vaktaram Swatejasa Vishwam Idam Tapantam.
You are without origin, middle, or end. Your glory is unlimited. You have numberless arms. The sun and the moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance.
Text 20. Jaya Prithviyor idam antaram hi vyaptam tvai ekena disascha sarva दृष्ट्वा वा अद्भुतं रूपम् उग्रं तवेदं लोकत्रयं प्रवर्तित महात्मनम्.
Although you are one, you spread throughout the sky and the planets and all space between. O Great One, seeing this wondrous and terrible form, all the planetary systems are perturbed.
So Arjuna is saying, and then he's saying that everybody is disturbed by seeing this form. Actually, Arjuna is also disturbed by seeing Lord Krishna's universal form. He is not able to hold it further. Amihi tvam sura sanga vishati kechid bhita pranajelo grananti swasti uktva maharshi siddha sanga stuvanti tvam stutibhi pushkalabhi.
All the hosts of demigods are surrendering before you and entering into you. Some of them, very much afraid, are offering prayers with folded hands. Hosts of great sages and perfected beings, crying, all peace, are praying to you by singing the Vedic hymns.
So everybody is crying and everybody is praying to Krishna because this universal form is very fearful. Further, Krishna is, Arjuna is saying, Rudraditya vasavo ye cha sandhya vishve ashvino marutascha umamcha gandharva yaksha sura siddha sangha vikshante tvam vishamitaschaiva sarve.
All the various manifestations of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vashus, the Sadhyas, the Vishwavedas, the two Asishvas, the Maruts, the forefathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, the Asuras, and the perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder.
So everybody is watching Krishna and everybody is wondering what's happening here. Rupam mahatate bahu vaktra netram mahabaho bahurapadam bahudaram bahu damastra karlam drishtva loka pravastithas tatha aham.
O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your great form, with its many faces, eyes, arms, thighs, legs, and bellies, and your many terrible teeth, and as they are disturbed, so am I.
So Vishwarupa of Lord Krishna is such a fearful because it has many faces, many eyes, many arms. So everybody is fearful as well as Arjuna is also fearful. So he is now requesting Krishna. What is he saying? He's saying, Nabhasprusham diptam aneka varnam vyata dipta vishala netram drishtva hi tvam pravatistantar atma dhritim na vindami shamancha Vishnu.
O all-pervading Vishnu, seeing you with your many radiant colors touching the sky, your gaping mouths, your great glowing eyes, my mind is perturbed by fear. I can no longer maintain my steadiness or equilibrium of mind.
Text 25. Damastra karlani chate mukhani drishteva kalanala sanibhani disho na janena nabhe cha sharma prasida devesha jagannivesha.
O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance seeing thus your ablazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered.
So Arjuna is bewildered now and he is telling to Krishna 26 and 27. Ami chatvam dhatarashtrasya putra sarve sahevavani pala sangheha Bhishma drona sutta putras tatha sau sahasmadiyer api yoda mukhya vaktrani te tavaramana vishanti damastra karlani bhayankani kechid vilagna दाश्यंतर तर्येषु संद्रश्यन्ते चुनितेर उत्तमाग्निः.
All the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and our chief soldiers also are rushing into your fearful mouth. And some I see trapped with heads smashed between your teeth.
So he's saying that a lot of soldiers, including all the Kauravas, they are dying in the mouth of Vishwarupa of Lord Krishna. Yatha nadinam bahavo ambuvega samudram evabhi mukha dravanti tatha tavami naralokavira vishanti vaktrani abhi vijavanti.
As the many waves of the rivers flow into the ocean, so do all these great warriors enter blazing into your mouths.
So everybody is entering into the mouth of Vishwarupa. Yatha pradiptam jvalam patanga vishanti nashaya samudravega tatheva nashaya vishanti loka tavapi vakranti samudravega.
I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire.
So here Arjuna is saying that everybody is rushing into the mouth of Lord Krishna as moth is entering into the fire. So everybody is dying there. So Arjuna becomes more scared now. Leli haryasye grashaman samanta lokan samagran vadaner jvalabhi tejo vyapurya jagat samagram bhashastavograha pratapanti Vishnu.
O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgences. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays.
So here Arjuna is saying that rays are the fire, the heat which is coming, it is very terrible. He's saying further, Akhyahi me ko bhavanugra rupo namo astu te deva vara prasiddha vignatum ichhami bhavantam adyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim.
O Lords of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is.
So now he's becoming more confused. When seeing everybody is dying, so he's saying that Krishna, what is happening? I'm really confused now. So भगवान कहते हैं अर्जुन को श्री भगवान वाच कालोस्मि लोकक्षय कृत प्रवृद्धो लोकान् संहर्तुम् यः प्रवृत्तः ऋते अपि त्वं न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे ये अवस्थितः प्रति अनेक योधा.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers here on both sides will be slain.
So here Krishna is saying everybody is dying, do not worry, nobody is going alive from here except the Pandavas. So Krishna has decided. Tasmat tvamuttishta yasho labhasva jitva shatru bhukshva rajyam samruddham maya yitva nihatam purvam eva nimittamatram bhavasavya sachi.
Therefore, get up, prepare to fight and win glory. Conquer your enemies and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Sabyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight.
निमित्त मात्र भगवान सब डिसाइड करते हैं, हमें सिर्फ उसमें साथ देना है, निमित्त मात्र बनना है. Text 24, 11th chapter. Dronam cha Bhishmam cha Jayadratha cha कर्णं तथा अन्यन् अपि योद्धवीरान् मया हन्तं त्वं जहिमा व्यतिष्ठा युज्यस्व तेजसि रणे
Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in the battle.
So Krishna is saying that you will fight and vanquish the enemies. Everybody's going to die. Don't worry. Sanjaya Vacha Etat Shrutvā Vachanam Keshasva Kritāņjalir Vipanam Kiritam Namaskritva Bhuya Evaha Krishnam Sagadadam Sagadagam Vita Vita Pranamya.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folding hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a faltering voice as follows.
Arjuna Vacha Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakritya Jagat Praharshati Anuvarjate cha Rakshasmi Bhitani Disho Dravanti Sarve Namashyanti cha Siddha Sangha.
Arjuna said, O master of the senses, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Kasmasya Nameran Mahatmanam Garishe Brahmano Api Adi Katre Ananta Devesha Jagan Nivesha Tvam Aksharam Sad Asat Tata Param Yata.
O Great One, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you, O limitless one, God of gods, refuge of the universe? You are invincible, source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation.
Chapter 11, text 38. Tvam Adideva Purusha Puranas Tvam Asya Vishvasya Param Nidhanam Vetasya Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishvam Anantarupa.
You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refuge above the material modes. O limitless form, this whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
So Arjuna is glorifying Lord Krishna, is Vishwarupa. He is saying, Vayur Yamo Agnir Varuna Shashanka Prajapati Svatam Prapita Mahascha Namo Namastestu Sahastra Kritva Punasya Bhuyo Api Namo Namaste.
You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times, and again, and again, and again.
So here Arjuna is now really bowing down to Krishna again and again and again. He says, You are the greatest of the great grandfather. Here further he says, Arjuna says, Nama Purastad Atha Pratashtasase Namo Astute Sarvata Eva Sarva Ananta Viryamita Vikramastvam Sarvam Samapnoshi Tatoshi Sarvam.
Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything.
Text 41 and 42. Now Arjuna is saying to Krishna, he is lamenting now, he is saying, Sakheti matva prasabham yadautam, he Krishna, he Yadava, he Sakheti. Ajanata mahimanam tvattvedam, maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Yajjavah sahasram asata krutoshi, vihara sayyasvana bhojaneshu. Eko tavapi achyuta tata samaksham, tata kshamasye tvam aham aprameyam.
Thinking of you as my friend, I have rashly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relaxed, lay on the same bed, or sat or ate together, sometimes alone, and sometimes in front of many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses.
Saying, hey Krishna, I might have said, treated you just like a friend. Would you please excuse me? He's saying, Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pujyasya guru giryayana natvata samo asti avayadika kutoyano loko traye api paramita prabhavam.
You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is equal to you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power?
Text 44. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadaye tvam aham isham idyam iteva putrasya sakesva sakya priya priya harshi deva sodhu.
You are the supreme Lord to be worshipped by every living being. Thus, I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertinence of a friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done to you.
Text 45. Adrashtapurvam rishitoasmi drishtva bhayena cha pravatyati tam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasha.
After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your glance upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe.
So he's now saying that please change your form. I don't want to see this universal form which is disturbing and fearful. So he's saying, Kiritanam Gadinam Chakrahastam Nichami Tvam Drashtum Aham Tatheva Teneva Rupena Chaturbhujena Sahasrabhavo Bhava Vishwamurte.
O universal form, O thousand armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
So here he's asking Krishna, please show me now Chaturbhuja Rupa. So Bhagavan कहते हैं श्री भगवान वाच मय्या प्रसन्नेन तवार्जुनेदं रूपं परं दर्शितम् आत्मयोगात् तेजोमयं विश्वम् अनन्ताद्यं Yaname tvadani anenna nadrishtva purvam.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you by my eternal potency the supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you have ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence.
So now Vishwarupa, after Vishwarupa he sang Chaturbhuja Rupa. Now he's saying Navedayagna dayaner nadaner nacha kriyabhir natapo virugre eva rupa sakya aham nraloke drashtum tvannena kuru pravira.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine, for neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charity, nor by pious activities, nor by severe penances can I be seen in this form in the material world.
तो भगवान का जो रूप है वो तपस्या वगैरह से नहीं मिल सकता है, सिर्फ भगवान की इच्छा है तो ही हम देख सकते हैं. माते व्यथा च विमूढभावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरं इदं व्यपेतभीप्रीतमना पुनस्थ तदैव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य.
You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form you desire.
Sanjay Uvac iti Arjunam vasudevastatoktva swakam rupam darshayam asabhaya ashvachan ashacha vitam enam bhutva puna saumya vapur mahatma.
Sanjay said to Dhritarashtra, Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
So then he showed him two four-arm form and then two-arm form. Manushya Rupa. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said, Drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idaninu asmi samavratta sacheta prakritim gataha.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardhan, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature.
Arjuna was happy to see Manushya Rupa. So then Bhagavan said, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Sudurdarshanam idam rupam दृष्ट्वा नसियन् ममः देवापि यस्य रूपस्य नित्यं दर्शनाकाङ्क्षितः.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form which is so dear.
So which form he is talking about here? Manushya Rupa. Very difficult to understand. Manushya Rupa. Naham vedher na tapasa na dani na che jyaya sakhya evam vidho drushtam drushvan asima mayatha.
The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am.
Only Krishna can be seen by Bhaktyatva Ananya Sakhya Aham Eva Vidho Arjuna Jnatum Drashtum Chatatevane Praveshtum Cha Param Tapah.
My dear Arjun, Only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding.
Text 55. This is the last sloka of chapter number 11. Matakarma kritamato paramo madbhaktan sangavarjita nirvire sarvabhuteshu yasamameti pandava.
My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of fruitive activities and mental speculation, he who works for me, who makes me the supreme goal of his life, and who is friendly to every living being, certainly comes to me.
So, thus we are entering into the uh, qualities of a devotee, which is described in chapter 12 very nicely. And this is called as Bhakti Yoga chapter. So with that 11th chapter, Lord Krishna left us with few of the qualities. But now Krishna is going to explain more qualities of devotee and who is dear to Krishna. So this is the very important chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is chapter number 12. So Arjuna Vacha Evam Satata Yuktaye Bhaktasvam Param Bhashate Ye Chapi Aksharam Avyaktam Tesham Ke Yogam Vittama.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
So some people they worship unmanifested, Avyakta Rupam. So Arjuna is saying who's better. So Lord Krishna is answering. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Veshya Yema Nityayukta Bhashate Shraddhaya Parayopeta Sene Yukta Tamavataha.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their minds on my personal form and are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect.
So Krishna is saying that those who worship Krishna directly is the perfect. Now, Lord Krishna is describing about the difference between the two types of bhakti. So those who do not worship form of Krishna and those who worship the form of Krishna. So he's saying further, Ye tva aksharam anirvridhyam avyaktam parupashate sarvatra gamachintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam sanniyamendriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhaya te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite rataha.
But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed, and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth, by controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons engaged in the welfare of all at last achieve me.
Chapter 12, text 5. क्लेशो अधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्तस्य चेतसाम् अव्यक्त हि गतिर्दुःखम् देवाभिरवपयते.
For those whose mind are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
So to worship God in the impersonal form is very difficult. This is what Lord Krishna is saying. He is saying further, Ye tu sarvani karmani mayi sanyasya madparaha ananya eva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesham aham sambuddhata mrityu samsara sagara bhavami na chirat partha maya veshita chetasa.
But those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service, and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Pritha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death.
So Lord Krishna is saying Mrityu Samsara Sagarat. So if we meditate on Krishna, if we do Krishna Bhakti, then Krishna is saying, for them I deliver them from birth and death. Further, Maya Veva Mana Adhastava Maya Buddhim Niveshaya Nivashyasya Shimaya Eva Ata Urdhvana Samshaya.
Just fix our mind upon me, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus, you will live in me always without a doubt.
So Krishna is asking for the first time something from Krishna, Arjuna. He's saying, give him your mind. He says, just fix your mind on me. Atha chittam samudhatum na shaknoti mai stiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichhatum dhananjaya.
My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
So if you cannot fix your mind on Krishna, then follow the Bhakti Yoga process. Get up early in the morning, come to the temple, do chanting. Further, Lord Krishna is saying, Abhyase api asamarthosi mad karma paramo bhava madartham api karmani kurvam siddhim avakshasi.
If you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me, because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
So first you fix your mind on Krishna. If you cannot fix your mind on Krishna, then follow the process of Bhakti Yoga. If you cannot follow that sadhana bhakti, then Lord Krishna is saying, okay, work for me. Give your results of work. Work for Krishna. So we are on chapter 12, text number 10. Now chapter 12, text 11. What the Lord Krishna says. Adhaitad api ashaktoshi kartum madyoganam ashritaha sarva karma phala tyagam tatha kuru yatatmavan.
If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all the results of your work and try to be self-situated.
So here Krishna is saying that if you cannot work for him, then give the results of your work to Krishna.
આપણે 12th ઉપર જ છીએ.
Text
જલ્દી
12.
કરવું પડશે.
Shreyo vignanam abhyasaj jnanad ayam vishishyate dhyanad karma phalam tyagas tyaga shantir anantaram.
If you cannot take to the practice, then engage yourself in cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation, and better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
12, text 13 and 14 of chapter number 12, qualities of devotee are mentioned. Advaishta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samadukha sukhakshami santushta satatam yogi yatatma dharanichaya mayyarpita mano buddhir yomad bhakta same priya.
One who is not envious, but is a kind friend to all living entities, who does not think himself of proprietor and is free from false ego, who is equal in both happiness and distress, who is tolerant, always satisfied, self-controlled, and engaged in devotional service with determination, his mind and intelligence fixed on me, such a devotee of mine is very dear to me.
So here Lord Krishna is saying who is dear to him. So some of the qualities he has mentioned. Now he's further saying, Yasman no dvitate loko loka no dvitacheyaha harsha harsha samarsha bhayodvege mukto yasa chamepriya.
He by whom no one is put into difficulty and who is not disturbed by anyone, who is equipoised in happiness and distress, Fear and anxiety is very dear to me.
Further, Lord Krishna says, Anapeksha suchir daksha udasino gata vitaha sarvaramba parityagi yo madbhakta same priya.
My devotee who is not dependent on the ordinary course of activities, who is pure, expert, without cares, free from all pains, and not striving for some result, is very dear to me.
यो नारिष्यति न द्वेष्टति न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान् भक्तिमान् यः समे प्रियः.
One who neither rejoices nor grieves, who neither laments nor desires, who renounces both auspicious and inauspicious things, such a devotee is very dear to me.
So all these are qualities of devotee which are very dear to Krishna. Further, text number 18 and 19. Shama satro shatro cha mitre cha tatha mana apamanayo sitoshno sukha dukkheshu samasanga vivarjita tulya ninda stute mauni shantushto yena kenachita aniketa sthiramatir bhakti me priyo naraha.
One who is equal to friends and enemies, who is equipoised in honor and dishonor, heat and cold, happiness and distress, fame and infamy, who is always free from contaminating association, always silent and satisfied with anything, who doesn't care for any residence, who is fixed in knowledge, and who is engaged in devotional service, such a person is very dear to me.
Very beautiful qualities of devotee. This is the last sloka of chapter number 12. Ye tu dharmamritam idam yathoktam parupashate shraddhadana mata param bhaktaste ativa me priya.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the supreme goal, are very, very dear to me.
So one who makes Krishna as a supreme goal, he is very dear to Krishna. So now we are entering into the Gnana Yoga section of Bhagavad Gita. We have finished with Bhakti Yoga. Now Lord Krishna is going to give Gnana. So now Prakriti, enjoyer, consciousness, all this knowledge Lord Krishna is going to give to Arjuna. So Arjuna is asking to Lord Krishna. Arjuna Vacha Prakritim Purusham Chaiva Kshetram Kshetragnam Evacha Etadvedtam Ichhami Gnanam Gneyam Cha Keshava. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Iti Abhidhiyate Etadyo Veti Tam Prahu Kshetragna Iti Tad Vidaha.
Arjuna said, O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, Purusha, and the field, and the knower of the field, and of knowledge, and the object of knowledge. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field.
So this body is the field. Text number 3. Lord Krishna is saying, Kshetragnam cha pimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetragnyor gnanam yatataj gnanam matam mama.
O sign of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its knower, it is called knowledge. That is my opinion.
Text 4. Tata kshetram yadraksha tada vikari yatascha yat sayat yo yat prabhavascha tata samashena meshvaru.
Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are.
ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतं चन्दनोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितम्.
That knowledge of field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is specially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect.
Text 6 and 7. Mahabhutani ahankaro buddhir avyaktam evacha indriyani dasaikanam cha panchendriya gochara ichha dvesha sukham dukkham shangastha chetana dhrite etat kshetram samashena samavikarma udharatam.
The five great elements false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, and the mind, the five sense objects desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and the conviction. All these are considered, in summary, to be the field of activities and its interactions.
Text 8 to 12, all these texts are together. I'm going to read. Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantirajam acharyopasanam saucham स्थैर्यम् आत्मविनिग्रहः इन्द्रियार्थेषु वैराग्यम् अनहङ्कार एव च जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि दुःखदोषानुदर्शनम् आसक्तिरनाभिष्वग्रह पुत्रदारागृहादिषु नित्यं च समचित्वत्वं स्थानिस्तोपपतिषु मयि चान्यं योगेन भक्तिरव्याभिचारिणी विविक्तदेशसेवित्वम् आर्तिर्जनसमासदि अध्यात्मज्ञाननित्यत्वं तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यद् अतो अन्यथा.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, perception of the evil of birth, death, old age and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in solitary place, detachment from general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Text 13. Gneyam yattat pravakshami yajgnanavarupam asnute anadimat param brahma na sat na sat uchyate.
I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, beginless, and the subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and the effect of this material world.
Text 14, chapter number 13. Sarvata padam tat sarvato akshi shiromukham sarvata srutimala sarvam avyaktra tishtati.
Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything.
Text 15. Sarvendriya gunabhasham sarvendriya vivarjitam ashaktam sarvaprakachaiva nirgunam gunam bhotracha.
The super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends to the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all the modes of material nature.
Text 16. Bahirantasya bhutanam acharam charam evacha sukshmavad tad avigneyam durastham shantike durastham shantike chatayatam.
The supreme truth exists outside and inside of all living beings, the moving and non moving. Because he is subtle, he is beyond the power of material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all.
Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam bhutavritam cha tajgneyam grashnishu pravavishnu cha.
Although the super soul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all.
Text 18. Jyotisham apitad jyotis tasmas param uchyate jnanam neyam gnanagamyam hridhi sarvasya vishishtatam.
He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge, he is the object of knowledge, and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart.
So Paramatma ki baat chal rahi hai. Krishna is explaining what Paramatma Rupa. Iti kshetram tatha jnanam neyam choktam samashatah mad bhakta etad vignaya mad bhavayo upapade.
Thus, the field of activities, that is the body, knowledge, and the knowable, have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain my nature.
Text 21. Kaya karana kartavye hetu proktir uchyate purusha sukha dukkhana bhoktrave hetu uchyate.
Material nature. 20.
20.
Ah.
Prakrutim cha purusham chaiva vidyanadi ubhavapi vikaramscha gunamschaiva vidhi prakriti sambhava.
Material nature and the living entities should be understood to be beginningless. Their transformations and the modes of matter are products of material nature.
Text 21. Karya karana kritvatve hetu praktir uchyate purusha sukha dukkhana bhoktrave hetu uchyate.
Nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in this world.
Karya karana kritvatve hetu praktir
Thank
uchyate.
you.
21. So 22.
22.
Okay, can you read?
Purusha prakriti stohi bhankate prakriti ganaguna karanam guna sangosya sada asad yoni janmasyu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species.
That text is missing from my slides. Upadrishtamanta cha bharata bhokta maheshwarah paramatmeti cha api yukto dehe asmin purusha parah.
Yet, in this body, there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the Supreme Proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter, and who is known as Supersoul.
य एवं वेति पुरुषं प्रकृतिं च गुणैः सह सर्वाथ वर्तमानोऽपि न स भूयोऽभिजायते.
One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position.
ध्यायेन आत्मनि पश्यन्ति केचित् आत्मनम् आत्मना अन्यसाङ्ख्येन योगेन कर्मयोगेन च परे.
Some perceive the supersoul within themselves through meditation, others through the cultivation of knowledge, and still others through working without fruitive desires.
Chapter 13, text 26. अन्ये त्वएवम् अजानतः श्रुत्वान्येय उपासते ते अपि चति तारन्ति एव मृत्युं श्रुति परायणा.
Again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about Him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death.
Text 27. Yava sanjayate kinshit sattvam sthavar jangamam kshetre kshetragna samyoga tadavidhi bharatvarshava.
O chief of the Bharatas, know that whatever you see in existence, both the moving and the non moving, is only a combination of the field of activities and the knower of the field.
Text 28. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu tishthana parameshwaram vinashyasva avinashayantam yaha pashyati sa pashyati.
One who sees the super soul accompanying the individual soul in all bodies, and who understands that neither the soul nor the super soul within the destructible body is ever destroyed, actually sees.
Text 29. Samam pashyanihi sarvatra samavasthitam ishvaram na hinasti atmanam tato yati param gati.
One who sees the super soul equally present everywhere in every living being does not degrade himself by his mind. Thus, he approaches the transcendental destination.
प्रकृतेव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः यः पश्यति तथात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति.
One who can see that all activities are performed by the body, which is created of material nature, and sees that the self does nothing, actually sees.
यदा भूत पृथग्भाव एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति तथा एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म समपद्यते तथा.
When a sensible man ceases to see different identities due to different material bodies, and he sees how beings are expanded everywhere, he attains to the Brahman conception.
Text 32. Anadvitvam nirgunatvat paramatmayam avyaya sharirastho api kaunteya na karoti na lipyate.
Those with a vision of eternity can see that the imperishable soul is transcendental, eternal, and beyond the modes of nature. Despite contact with the material body, O Arjuna, the soul neither does anything nor is entangled.
Text 33, chapter 13. Yatha sarvagatam saukshmyat aksham no लिप्यते सर्वत्र अवस्थितो देहे तथात्मानो लिप्यते.
The sky, due to its subtle nature, does not mix with anything, although it is all pervading. Similarly, the soul, situated in Brahman vision, does not mix with the body, though situated in that body.
Text 34. यथा प्रकाशयन्ति एकः कृष्णं लोक इमं रवि क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृष्णं प्रकाशयति भारत.
O son of Bharata, as the sun alone illuminates all the universe, so does the living entity, one within the body, illuminate the entire body by consciousness.
Last shloka, chapter number 13. क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञो एवं अंतरं ज्ञान चक्षुषा भूत प्रकृति मोक्षं च ये विभुर्यान्ति ते परम्.
Those who see with eyes of knowledge the difference between the body and the knower of the body, and can also understand the process of liberation from bondage in material nature, attain to the supreme goal.
In this way, chapter number 13 is over. Going to chapter number 14, Jnana Yoga. Now Lord Krishna is going to explain Sattva Guna, Raja Guna and Tamo Guna, three gunas. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Param Bhuya Pravakshami Jnananam Jnanamuttama Yajajnatva Munyaha Sarve Param Siddhim Ito Gataha.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Again, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection.
Idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyam agataha sarge api nopajayante pralayena yathanicca."
By becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution.
By knowing Sattva Guna, Raja Guna and Tamo Guna. Text number 3. Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbha dadhamyaham sambhava sarva bhutana tato bhavati bharata.
The total material substance called Brahma is source of birth, and it is that Brahma that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata.
Text 4. Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtaya sadbhavantiya tasam brahma mahadyonir aham bija pradapita.
It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father.
Sattvaprajastama iti guna prakriti sambhava dibantanti mahabahu dehi namavyayam.
Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes.
Three gunas. Tatra sattvam nirmalavat pravakshakam anamayam sukha sanghena baddhanti gnana sanghena chanagha.
O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
So this is the description of Sattva Guna. When we are in Sattva Guna, we get knowledge and we become happy. Then Rajo Ragatmakam Vidhi Trishna Sangha Samudbhavam Ananibandhanti Kaunteya Karma Sangena Dehinam.
The mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti, And because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitative activities.
So unlimited desire is the quality of Rajoguna. And then Tamoguna. Tamastva jnanajam viddhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadanasya nidravis tannibhandanti bharata.
O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul.
When we are in Tamoguna, this is what happens. Text 9. Sattvam sukhe sanjayati rajas karmani bharata jnanam avrityam tu tamah pramade sanjayati yutah.
O son of Bharata, the mode of goodness conditions one to happiness, passion conditions one to fruitive action, and ignorance, covering one's knowledge, binds one to madness.
In this way, sattva, raja, guna, tamo binds everybody. Rajastamascha abhibhuya sattvam bhavati bharata rajasattvam tamaschaiva tamasattvam rajastatha.
Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharata, sometimes mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and at other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy.
Chapter 14, text 11. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakasha upajayate jnanam yad tada vidyat vivardham sattvam iti yutam.
The manifestation of the mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge.
Lobha pravrittim arambha karmanam asamaha spruha rajasi etani jayante vivarte bharatarshava.
O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop.
अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च तामसी एतानि जायन्ते विवर्धे कुरु नन्दन.
When there is an increase in mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested.
यदा सत्त्वे प्रवर्धेतु प्रलयं यति देहतुभृत् तदोत्तममिदं लोकान् अमलं प्रतिपद्यते.
When one dies in mode of goodness, he attains to the pure higher planets of great sages.
राजसी प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गेन जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तामसि मूढयोनिषु जायते.
When one dies in mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when one dies in mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom.
Chapter 14, text 16. कर्मणा सुकृतस्य सात्विकं निर्मलं फलं राजसा तु फलं दुःखम् अज्ञानं तामसा फलम्.
The result of pious action is pure and is said to be in mode of goodness, but action done in mode of passion results in misery. Action performed in mode of ignorance results in foolishness.
Text 17, chapter 14. Sattvat sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha eva cha pramada mohutamso bhavato ajnanam eva cha.
From the mode of goodness, real knowledge develops. From the mode of passion, greed develops. And from the mode of ignorance, develop foolishness, madness, and illusion.
Chapter 14, text 18. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtati rajasa jaganya gunavrittistha adho gachanti tamasa.
Those situated in mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in abominable mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds.
Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyati gunabhyascha param veti madbhavam sodikachati.
When one properly sees that in all activities no other performer is at work, then these modes of nature, and he knows the Supreme Lord who is transcendental to all these modes, he attains my spiritual nature.
Text 20. Gudanetanatītyatrim dehi deha samudbhavam janma mrityu jara dukhe vimukto amritya ashnute.
When the embodied being is able to transcend these three modes associated with material body, he can become free from birth, death, old age, and their distresses, and can enjoy nectar even in this life.
Text 21. Arjuna Vacha Kailinge Stringunanita Atito Bhavati Prabhu Kimacharam Katam Chaitam Trinaguna Ativartate.
Arjuna inquired, O my dear Lord, by which symptom is one known who is transcendental to these three modes? What is his behavior? And how does he transcend the modes of nature?
अर्जुन भगवान को पूछते हैं कि जो तीन गुणों से ऊपर चला जाता है उसका क्या क्वालिटीज है। भगवान कहते हैं श्री भगवान वाच प्रकाशम च प्रवृत्तिम च मोहम एव च पांडव न द्वेष्टि समप्रवृत्तानि न निवर्तानि कांक्षति उदासीन वदासीनो गुणेन गुणेयो न विचाल्यते गुणवर्तन्त इत्वेय यो स्थिता तिष्ठति नेग्यति समा दुःख सुख स्वस्थ समलोष्टा अस्माक कांचन तुल्य प्रिया प्रियो धीर तुल्य निंदा आत्म संस्तुति मान अपमानयो स्तुल्य स्तुल्यो मित्रारिपक्षयो सर्वारंभ परित्यागी गुणातीत समुच्यते.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present for long, or when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes alone are active, who is situated in self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon a lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with equal eye, who is equal towards the desirable and the undesirable, who is steady, situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friend and enemy, and who has renounced all material activities, such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature.
मां च योगाभिचारेण भक्तियोगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीयैतान् ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
One who engages in full devotion.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's good. Correct.
One who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman.
So Lord Krishna is saying, if you do bhakti, then you overcome all the three modes of material nature. This is the last shloka of chapter number 14. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amrutasya avyayasya shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya antikasya cha.
And I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
So here Krishna is now going to the 15th chapter, which is called as the Yoga of the Supreme Person, uniting with Lord Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Urdhvamulam Madashaka Ashwattham Prahur Avyayam Chandasmi Yasha Parnani Yastam Veda Savedavit.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "It is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upwards and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is knower of the Vedas."
So material world is a reflection of spiritual world, upside down. That is what is Krishna is describing here. Text 2. Adashchodvam prashastasya sakha guna pravruddha vishaya pravalaha adascha mulani anushantanani karmanubandhani manushya loke.
Branches of this tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these are bound to the fruitive action of human society.
Chapter 15, shloka number 3 and 4. Narupam asheshya tatobhaya labhyate nanto nacha adirnacha samastritasta ashwastham enam suviruddha moolam asanga shastrena dradena chitva तथा पदं तथा परिमार्जितं त्वयं यस्मिन् गता न निवर्तन्ति भूय तम एव चाद्यं पुरुषं प्रपद्ये यथा प्रवृत्ति प्रशस्त्र पुराणी.
The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. But with determination, one must cut down this strongly rooted tree with a weapon of detachment. Thereafter, one must seek that the place from which, having gone, no one never returns, and there surrender to the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, from whom everything began and from whom everything has extended since time immemorial.
Text 5, chapter 15. Nirmamo jita sangadosha adhyatma nitya vinirta kama dvande vimukta sukha dukkha samagne gacchantya amudha padam avyayam.
Those who are free from false prestige, illusion, and false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are freed from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender unto Supreme Person, attain to the eternal kingdom.
So now this is the quality of, these are the qualities of Lord Krishna's loka, Krishna loka, how the spiritual world looks like. न तद्भाष्यते सूर्य न शशांको न पावक यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
That supreme abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
So Lord Krishna's planet is self-illuminated. There is no need of electricity here. Mamevangsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana manashamsthani indriyani prakrutistani karshati.
The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
So Krishna is saying we all belong to spiritual world, but we are struggling here because of the six senses and mind. शरीरं यतवाप्नोति यच्छापि उत्क्रमतिष्ठवरः घृत्वा घृत्वेतानि संयति वायुर्गण्ठम् इवाशयत.
The living entity in the material world carries his different conception of life from one body to another, as the air carries aromas. Thus, he takes one kind of body and again quits it to take another.
So every time we keep on taking bodies after bodies in this material world, but we don't belong to this world. We belong to spiritual world. Shotram chakshusha sparshanam cha rasanam granam evacha adhisthaya manaschayam vishayam upasevate.
The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eye, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are grouped about the mind. He thus enjoys a particular set of sense objects.
Text 10. Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhujjanam va gunanvitam pashyanti jnana-chakshusha.
The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this.
Yatanto yoginaschaiva pashyanti atmani avasthitam yatanto api akrutatmano nainam pashyanti achetasa.
The endeavoring transcendentalists who are situated in self realization can see all this clearly, but those whose minds are not developed and who are not situated in self realization cannot see what is taking place, though they may try to.
Next round. Yada aditya gatam tejo jagat bhashyate akhilam yach chandrasmi yacha agno tata tejo vidimamakam.
The splendor of the sun, which dissipates the darkness of this whole world, comes from me, and the splendor of the moon and the splendor of fire are also from me.
Gam avishya cha bhutani dharayami am ojasa ushnami cha aushadhi sarvaha somo bhutva rasatmakah.
I enter into each planet, and by my energy they stay in orbit. I become the moon and thereby supply the juice of life to all the vegetables.
Krishna is the juice of all the vegetables. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranaparana Samayukta Pachami Annam Chaturvidam.
I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff.
तो भगवान की कृपा से ही हमारे शरीर में सब चल रहा है. सर्वस्य चाहम हृदि सन्निविष्टो अतः स्मृति ज्ञानम अपोहनम च वेदैश्च सर्वे अहमेव वेद्यो वेदांतकृत वेदविद एव चाहम्.
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am known. I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of all the Vedas.
Krishna is the knower of all the Vedas. Vedishcha sarvaham Ved. Text 16. Dvav imo purusho loke क्षरश्च एव च क्षरः सर्वाणि भूतानि कूटस्थो अक्षर उच्यते.
There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every living entity is fallible, and in the spiritual world, every living entity is infallible.
Chapter 15, Shloka 17. Uttama Purushastva Anya Paramatmaiti Udarate Yo Loka Trayam Avishya Vibrati Avyayam Ishvaraha.
Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Supreme Soul, the imperishable Lord Himself, who has entered the three worlds and is maintaining them.
Yatmaksharo Atitoham Aksharan Apicha Uttama Ato Asmi Loko Vedecha Pratitah Purushottamah.
Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as the Supreme Person.
Yo mam evam asamuddho janati purushottamam sa sarvavid bhajanti mam sarva bhavena bharata.
Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
So this is the last shloka of chapter number 15. Iti guhya tamam shastram idam uktam mayanagha etad buddhva buddhiman shyat kritva kritakrityasya bharata.
This is the most confidential part of Vedic scripture, O sinless one, and it is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection.
So in this way, Lord Krishna has explained the transcendental science of Purushottama Yoga, how the material world is there, how the spiritual world is there, and how we are all struggling in this material world. And this is not our place, we belong to spiritual world. Now, this is a chapter which describes about some of our qualities, divine and demoniac qualities. So let's read chapter number 16, which is called as Daivi and Asuri Bhava. So Lord Krishna is describing here. Shri Bhagwan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samashuddhir Jnani Yoga Avastita Danam Damascha Yagnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjanam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodascha Krodas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshva Alotvam Marvam Harir Achapalam Teja Kshama Dhritir Shaucham Adroho Natimanita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatyasya Bharata.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature.
Auntie ji जा रहे हैं हरे कृष्णा आंटी जी.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. दम्भोदर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधश्च परुषम् एव च अज्ञानं च अभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदाशुभिः।
Pride, arrogance.
दर्शन खुलेंगे अभी, दर्शन खुलेंगे अभी, 2 मिनट रुकिए, दर्शन खुलेंगे, खुलेंगे, 2 मिनट रुकिए, 5 मिनट रुकिए, हो जाएगा, बैठिए।
Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those demonic nature, O son of Pritha. એમને છોકરાઓને રાખવા જવાનું હશે કદાચ.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 6.
Text 5.
Text 5. Daivi sampada vimokshasya dibandha ashuri mata masacha sampadam daivim abhijatasya pandava.
Transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with divine qualities.
Text 6. Dvau bhuto sargalokesmi daivasuri eva cha daivo vistarshaha prokta ashusham parthameshuru.
O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called divine, another demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac.
So now the divine qualities Lord Krishna is describing. He's describing the demoniac qualities. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha janana vidur asuri na samcham na pichacharo na satyam teshu vidyate.
Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness, nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them.
Asatyam apratishthante jagat ahurim anishwaram aparaspara samubhutvam kimanyat kamaitukam.
They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
एतादृष्टिम् अवास्तभ्य नष्टात्मनो अल्पबुद्धया प्रभावन्ति उग्रकर्माण क्षयाय जगतो हितम्.
Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world.
कामान आश्रितया दुष्पुरं दम्भमान मदान्वितः मोहात् गृहीत्वा षड्ग्रहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रतः.
Taking shelter of unsatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demoniac, thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work attracted by the impermanent.
Further, Lord Krishna describes demoniac qualities. Chinta aparameyam cha pralayantam upashuta kamopabhoga parama etavaditi nischita.
They believe
आशापाश शतेर्बद्ध कामक्रोध परायण इहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्ययेन अर्थ संचयम्.
They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification.
Text 13, 14 and 15 from chapter number 16 of Bhagavad Gita. Idam adyamaya labdam imam prapashye manoratham idam astidam api me भविष्यति पुनर्धनम् असौ माया हतः शत्रुर् अनिशे च परमपि ईश्वरो अहम् अहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी आद्यो अभिजिज्ञानवान् अस्मि कोऽन्यो अस्ति सदृशो मया लोकस्य दास्यमि मोदिष्य इति अज्ञानविमोहिता.
The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance.
Text 16. अनेक चित्त विभ्रांत मोहजाल समव्रतः प्राशक्त काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरके अशुचो.
Thus, perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, they become too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and fall down into hell.
आत्मसंभवन्ति स्तब्ध धनमान मदान्वितः यजन्ते नाम यजन यज्ञस्ते दम्भेन विधि दम्भेन विधिपूर्वकम्.
Self complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules or regulations.
Text 18. अहंकारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं च संश्रितः मम आत्मपरदेहेषु प्रदिशन्तो अभ्याशून्यकः.
Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demons become envious of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in their own bodies and in the bodies of others, and blaspheme against the real religion.
Text 19. तन् अहं द्विष्टः क्रूरान् समशारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपामि अग्न्याश्रमम् अशुद्धम् अश्रुस्व एव योनिषु.
Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I perpetually cast into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life.
Text 20. आसुरीं योनिम् अपना मूढ़ा जन्मानि जन्मनि मम अप्राप्या एव कौन्तेय ततो यान्ति अधमं गतिम्.
Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, O son of Kunti, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence.
Text 21. त्रिविधं नरकाशेदं द्वारं नाशनम् आत्मनं कामक्रोधस्तथा लोभस्तस्मादेतात्रयं त्यजेत्.
There are three gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give these up, for they lead to degradation of the soul.
Text 22. एतैर्विमुक्त कौन्तेय तामोद्वारे स्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरति आत्मनः श्रेयस्ततो यति परं गतिम्.
The man who escapes these three gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination.
श्री गौड़िताय की
जय।
जय. सीताराम लक्ष्मण भगवान की जय.
Jai.
श्री राधा ब्रजवत्सल की जय. जगन्नाथ श्री बलदेव सुभद्रा माता की जय. माता जी वो लाइट चालू कर देना.
उसको ऊपर कर. एक मिनट. हाँ.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 16, text 23. यह शास्त्र विधि उत्सर्ज्य वर्तते कामकर्तः न स सिद्धिम अवाप्नोति न सुखम न परम गतिम्.
He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination.
Text 24. This is the last shloka of chapter number 16. Tasmaj shashastram paramante pramanante karya karya avastito ज्ञात्वा शास्त्र विधानोक्त कर्म कर्तुम इहर्षि.
One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulation of scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated.
Hare Krishna. So we finished the chapter number 16, only two chapters remaining, 17 and 18. You're doing good with the time. So now chapter number 17 is very interesting. Lord Krishna is giving more information about Jnana Yoga. So here three divisions of faith are explained by Lord Krishna. So Arjuna is asking question now. Arjuna Vacha Ye Shastra Vidhi Utsarja Yajante Shraddha Anvita Tesham Nishtatu Kam Krishna Sattvam Aho Rajastamam.
Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance?
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Trivida Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavacha Satvaki Rajasi Chaiva Tamasi Cheti Tam Shru.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds: in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
So faith can be of three kinds. Sattva Anurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata Shraddha Mayo Yam Purusho Yo Yat Shraddha Sa Eva Sha.
O son of Bharat, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired.
Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksha Rakshasmi Rajasa Pretan Bhutan Ganashanye Yajante Tamasa Jana.
Men in mode of goodness worship the demigods, those in mode of passion worship the demons, and those in mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits.
Chapter 17, text 5 and 6. Ashastra Vihitam Bhoram Tapyante Ye Tapojana Damba Ahankara Sanyukta Kamaraga Balanvita Karshanta Sharirastha Bhutagramam Chetasa Mam Chaivanta Sharirastha Tanvidhi Asuri Nishchaya.
Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the supersoul dwelling within them, are known to be demons, are to be known as demons.
Text 7. आरस्त्व अपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रिय यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं tesham bheda nimam shru.
Even the food each person prefers is of three kinds, according to three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now, hear of the distinctions between them.
Hare Krishna. There are books here. You can pick up the book. Here. You can open chapter 17, text 7.
Text 8.
Text 7 is finished. The text 8 now. We are on chapter 17. Can you tell them the page number? So we're reading Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, Three Divisions of Faith, chapter 8. So, text 8, sorry. Ayu sattva bala arogya sukha priti vivardhana rashyam snigdha sthira hridaya ahara satvika priya.
Foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart.
So Lord Krishna is describing different things in the different modes. So those people who are in the mode of goodness, what is the type of food they eat? Then food in the mode of passion. Katva amala lavanti ushna tikshna raksha vidahina ahara rajasa yesheta dukkha shoka maya pradaha.
Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry, and burning are dear to those in mode of passion. Such foods cause distress, misery, and disease.
So that is the food in the mode of passion, Rajoguna. And then the food in the mode of Tamoguna. Yatayamam gata rasam uti parushyatam chayat uchistham api cha medhyam bhojanam tamasa priya.
Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed, and putrid, and food consisting of remnants of untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness.
Text 11. Afala kamshibhir yagno vidhidishto ya ijyate yashtvam eveti manah samadhaya sasatvika.
Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of Scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness.
So sacrifice is the mode of goodness, which means you do without expecting any results. Then in the mode of passion. Abhisandhayatu phalam dhammartham apichevayat ijjate bharata shrestha tam yagna vidati rajasam.
But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be in the mode of passion.
And then in the mode of ignorance. Viddihinam ashastranam mantrahinam dakshinam shraddha virahitam yagnam tamasam parichakshate.
Any sacrifice performed without regard for the direction of Scripture, without distribution of prasadam, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priests, and without faith is considered to be in mode of ignorance.
Devadvija Guru Prajna Pujanam Shamcham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahinsam Cha Shariram Tapauchyate.
Austerity of the body consists in worship of the Supreme Lord, and the Brahmanas, the spiritual master, the superiors like the father and mother, and in cleanliness, simplicity, celibacy, and non-violence.
So this is the austerity of body. Tapasya of the body is to pay respects to seniors, brahmanas, and keep the cleanliness. and then the austerity of mind, and then austerity of speech. So this is the austerity of speech. Anudveka karam vakyam satyam priyahitvam chayat swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vanamayam tapa uchyate.
Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature.
And austerity of mind. Mana prasadaha saumyatva maunam atma vinigraha bhava samashuddhir iti eta tapomana manasa samuchyate.
And satisfaction, simplicity, gravity, self control, and purification of one's existence are the austerities of the mind.
Text 17. Shraddhaya parya taptam tapastat trividhim nare afalakankshabhir yukte satvikam parichakshate.
This threefold austerity, performed with transcendental faith by men, not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness.
Text 18. Satkara mano pujartham tapodambena chaivayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalam adhruvam.
Penance performed out of pride and for the sake of gaining respect, honor, and worship is said to be in mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent.
Buddhagrahena atmano yat pidaya kriyate tapaha parashyod arthanam tava tatatamasam udarahatam.
Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in mode of ignorance.
दातव्यम् इति यद्दानं दीयते अनुपकारिणे देशकाले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्.
Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in mode of goodness.
Text 21. यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलम् उद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम्.
But charity performed with the expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results or in a grudging mood is said to be charity in the mode of passion.
Text 22. Adeshakale yaddanam apatrebhya च दीयते असत्कृतं avagnatam tata tamasam udaratam.
And charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to unworthy persons or without proper attention and respect is said to be in mode of ignorance.
Text 23. Om tad sad iti nirdesho brahmanastri vidam smrtah brahmanastena vedascha yagnascha vihitam pura.
From the beginning of creation, the three words Om, Tat, Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These three symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of Supreme.
Tasmad om iti udharato tya yagnadana tapa kriya pravartante vidhanakta satatam brahmavadina.
Therefore, transcendentalists undertaking performances of sacrifice, charity, and penance in accordance with scriptural regulations Begin always with Om to attain the Supreme.
Text 25. Tad iti anabhishandhya phalam yagna tapa kriya dana kriyascha vividha kriyante moksha kangshivi.
Without desiring fruitive results, one should perform various kinds of sacrifice, penance, and charity with the word Tat. The purpose of such transcendental activities is to get free from material entanglement.
Chapter 17, text 26 and 27. Sadabhave sadhubhavescha sadaiti etat prayujyate prashaste karmani tatha सच्छाद्ध पार्थ युज्यते यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थिति सदिति उच्यते कर्म चैव तद अर्थीयं सद इति एव विधीयते.
The absolute truth is the objective of devotional sacrifice, and it is indicated by the word Sat. The performer of such sacrifice is also called Sat, and as are all works of sacrifice, penance, and charity, which, true to absolute nature, are performed to please the Supreme Person or Son of Pritha.
So this is the last shloka of chapter number 17 of Bhagavad Gita. Ashraddhaya hutam dattam tapastaptam kritam chayat asad iti uchyate partha na cha tat pretya no iha.
Anything done as sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next.
So any charity we do, we have to have faith in Krishna, otherwise that charity is of no use. Okay, now we are going to last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is the conclusion. Lord Krishna is summarizing entire knowledge of Bhagavad Gita in this chapter number 18. So, very interesting chapter. Arjuna is asking question to Lord Krishna. Arjuna vacha sanyasya mahabahu tattvam ichhami vedutam tyagasya cha rishikesha pratakeshi nishodhanaha.
Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, tyaga, and of renounced order of life, sannyas. O killer of Keshi demon, master of the senses.
Text 2. Kamana Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyashyam Sanyasam Kavayo Vidu Sarva Karma Phala Tyagam Prabhu Tyagam Cha Vichakshana.
Supreme Personality of Godhead said, giving up of giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, that is sannyas. And giving up of the results of activities is what the wise call renunciation, tyaga.
So the sannyas and tyaga. Difference is mentioned. Text 3. Tyajyam doshavad iti eke karma prahur manishina yagna dana tapa karma na tyajyanti che iti chapare.
Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should never be abandoned.
Yagna, Dan and Tapa should never be given up. Everything else should be given up, but the Yagna, Dan and Tapa. Nishchayam shurume tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagraha trividha samaprakriti.
O best of the Bharatas, now hear my judgment about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of three kinds.
So three kinds of renunciation. Text number 5. Yagdadana tapa karma na tyajyam karyam eva tat yagno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina.
Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls.
So again repeating, Lord Krishna is giving the same instruction again because it is important. Text number 6. Etani api tu karmani sangam tyakta phalani cha kartavyaniti me partha nishchitam matam uttamam.
All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of result. They should be performed as a matter of duty, O son of Pritha. That is my final opinion.
Yes. Text number 7. Niyatasya tu sannyasa karmano no parade mohatasya parityagas tamasa parikirtita.
Prescribed duties should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in mode of ignorance.
No. Duty should not be given up. Text 8. Dukkhamiti eva yat karma kaya klesha bhaye tyajet sakritva rajasam tyagam naiva tyaga phalam labhet.
Anyone who gives up the prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation.
Yes, Arjuna was giving up his duty of fighting, so Lord Krishna is saying that. Text number 9. Karyam iti eva yat karma niyatam kriyate Arjuna sangam tyakta phalam chaiva satyaga satviko mataha.
O Arjuna, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit, his renunciation is said to be in mode of goodness.
न द्वेष्टि अकुशलं कर्म कुशले नानुसज्जते त्यागी सत्त्वसमाविष्टो मेधावी छिन्न संशय.
The intelligent renouncer, situated in mode of goodness, neither hateful nor inauspicious work, nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work.
Text number 11. Nahi deha bruta shakyam tyaktu karmanya sheshatah yastu karma phala tyagi satyagit abhidhiyate.
It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces fruits of action is called one who has truly renounced.
Chapter 18, text 12. Anishtam ishtam mishram cha trividham karmana phalam bhavanti atyaginam pretya natu sannyashina kvachit.
For one who is not renounced, threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, occur after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy.
Text 13. Pachetani mahabaho karnani nibodha me sankhye krutante proktani siddhaye sarva karmana.
O mighty armed Arjuna, according to the Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all action. Now learn of these from me.
Text 14. Adhishthanam tatha karta karanam cha prathagvidam vividascha prathak chetasa daivam chaiva tara pancham.
The place of action, which is the body, the performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the supersoul, these are 5 factors of action.
Text 15. Shariravan mano bhivyat कर्म पराभते नरः न्यायं वा विपरीतं वा पंचैते तस्य हेतवा.
Whatever right or wrong action a man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these five factors.
Text 16. Tatreva sati kartaram atmanam kevalam tu yah pashyati akrita buddhitvam sapashyati durmati.
Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the five factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are.
Text 17. Yasya nahanka nah yasya nahankrito bhavo buddha dhiryasya na lipyate hatvapi sa imallokan nahanti na nivandyate.
One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is he bound by his action.
Text 18. Jnanam neyam parijanata trividha karma chodana karanam karma karteti trividha karma sangraha.
Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action.
Text 19. Jnanam karma cha karta cha triveda guna bhedata rochate guna sankhyani yatha vacha shrutanipi.
According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge: action and performer of action. Now, hear of them from me.
Text 20. Sarvabhuteshu yenekam bhavam avyayam ikshate avibhaktam vibhakteshu tajgnanam vidati satvikam.
That knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities, though they are divided into innumerable forms, you should understand to be in mode of goodness.
Text 21. Pruthatvena tu yajnanam nana bhavan pruthagvidhan veti sarveshu bhuteshu tajgnanam vidhirajasam.
That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body there is a different type of living entity, you should understand to be in a mode of passion.
Text 22. Yattu Krishna vada ekasmin karye shaktam ahetukam atta atatvartham vadalpam cha tattasmad tasmasam udharatam.
And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all without knowledge of truth and which is very meager is said to be in mode of darkness.
Text 23. Niyatam sangarahitam aragha dveshastam kritam afalam prepshuna karma yata tattva sarvikam uchyate.
That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, and without desire for fruitive result is said to be in mode of goodness.
Text 24. Yatatu kama psuna karma sahankare vapuna kriyate bahulasyam tad.
But by one seeking to gratify his desire and enacted from the sense of false ego is called action in mode of passion.
Anubandham kshayam himsham anapeksha cha paurusham mohad arabhyate karma yattatata tamasam uchyate.
That action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others is said to be in mode of ignorance.
Mukta sango ahanam vadi drishtati utsaha samanvitaha siddhi asiddhyor nirvikara karta satvika uchyate.
One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness.
Text 27. Ragi karma phala prepshur lubdo himsavato ashuti harsha shokanvita karta rajasa parikirtita.
The worker who is attached to the work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in mode of passion.
Text 28. Ayukta prakruta stabdha shato naishtakrito alasaha vishadi dirgha sutrischa karta tamasa uchyate.
The worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of Scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in mode of ignorance.
Text 29. Buddhir bhedam dristacheva gunastva trividham shunu procyamanam aseshena prathatvena dhananjaya.
O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature.
So the determination can also be of different kinds. So here, text 30, chapter 18. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandhanam moksham cha yaveti buddhim sa partha satviki.
O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done is what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness.
Text 31. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam eva cha ayatavat prajanati buddhi sa partha rajasi.
O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in mode of passion.
Adharmam dharmam iti ya manyate tamasam avrata sarvartham vipritamscha buddhi sa partha tamasi.
That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in wrong direction, O Partha, is in mode of ignorance.
Text 33. Drutya yaya dharayate mana pranena indriya kriya yogana abhibhyacharenya dhruti sa partha satviki.
O son of Pritha, that determination which is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of mind, life, and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness.
Text 34. Yaya tu dharma kamartha dhritya dharyate arjuna prasangena phalakankshi dhriti sa partha rajasi.
But that determination by which one holds fast to fruitative results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjuna.
Text 35. Yaya swapna bhayam shokam vishadam madam cha na vimuchyati durmedha dhruti sa partha tamasi.
And that determination which cannot go beyond dreaming, fearfulness, lamentation, moroseness, and illusion, such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in mode of darkness.
Text 36. Sukham tvaidamimam trividam shunu me bharatvarshava apyasad ramatye yatra dukhantam cha niganchati.
O best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the three kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which he sometimes comes to the end of all distress.
Yata tad agre visham iva pariname amrutopanam tada sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam.
That which in the beginning may be just like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self realization, is said to be happiness in mode of goodness.
Vishayendriya samyogad yattad agare amrutopanam pariname visham iva tata sukham rajasam samsmritam.
That happiness which is derived from contact of senses with their object and which appears like nectar at first but poison at the end is said to be of nature of passion.
Yadagre chanubandhe cha sukham mohan atmana nidralasya pramadottam tata tamasam udaratam.
And that happiness which is blind to self realization, which is delusion from beginning to end, and which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be of the nature of ignorance.
Text 40. Na tadasti prithvim vyamba divi deveshu va punah sattvam prakritim gner muktva yad ebhi syat tribhir gune.
There is no being existing neither here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is free from these three modes born of material nature.
Text 41. Brahmana kshatriya visham shudranam cha parantapa karmani pravibhaktani subhava prabhaver gune.
Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes, or chastiser of the enemy.
Text 42. Samodamastapa saucham shantirajavam evacha jnanam vijnanamastikyam brahma karma svavajam.
Peacefulness, self control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which a Brahman works.
Text 43. Shauryam tejo dhritir daksham yuddhe chapi apalapyanam danam ishvaram bhavascha shatram karma svabhavacha.
Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas.
Then Vaishya. Kushi goraksha vanijyam vaishyam karma svavajam paricharyatmakam karma shudrosyapi svabhavacham.
Farming, cow protection, and business are the natural work for Vaishyas, and for Shudras, there are labor and service to others.
Text 45. Sve sve karmani abhiratah samsiddhi labhate nara swakarma niratah siddhim yatha vindanti tachshanu.
By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done.
Text 46. यथा प्रवृत्तिं भूतानां येन सर्वम् इदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य स्वकर्मणा तमभ्याचार्य सिद्धन्ति विदन्ति मानवा.
By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all-pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work.
श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्व अनुतिष्ठता स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वान्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्.
It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
Text 48. सहजं कर्म कौन्तेय सदोषम् अपि न त्यज्यते सर्वारम्भा हि दोषेण धूमेनेग्निरिवावृतः.
Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault.
Text 48. आसक्त बुद्धिं सर्वत्र जितात्मा विगता स्पृहा नैष्कर्म्य सिद्धिं परमं संन्यासेन अधिगच्छति.
One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain, by practice of renunciation, the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction.
Text 50. सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध मे समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा.
Son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, and the stage of highest knowledge by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
So text 51 to 53. बुद्ध्या विशुद्धा युक्तो धृत्यात्मानं नियम्य च शब्दादीन् विषयं त्यक्त्वा रागद्वेषो व्युढस्य च विविक्तसेवी लाघ्वाशी यथा वाक्काय मनसा ध्यानयोग परो नित्यं वैराग्यं समुपाश्रिता अहंकारं बलं दर्प कामक्रोध परिग्रहं विमुच्य निर्ममं शांतो ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते.
Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful, such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization.
Text 54. ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न कांक्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते परम्.
One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Text 55. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yashashmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gnatva vishate tadanantaram.
One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
Text 56. Sarva karmani api sada kurvano mad vyapashraya mad prasadad avapnoti shashvatam pradam avyayam.
Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace.
Text 57. Chetasa sarva karmani mahi sanyasya mataparaha buddhi yogam upashritya macchitta satatam bhavaha.
In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me.
Text 58. Macchitta sarva durgani mataprasadat tarishyasi atha chetatvam ahankaram nashrosyasi vinakshasi.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
Text 59. Yad ahankara ashritya na yotsya iti manyate mityasha vyavasayaste prakrutistva niyokshati.
If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
Text 60. Swabhava kaunteya nibaddha svena karmana kartu nechasi yanmohat karishyasi avashopyatatat.
Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 61. Ishvara sarva bhutana vriddeshya arjuna tishtati brahmanya sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya.
Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy.
So Lord Krishna is there in our heart, He is guiding us. Text 62. Tama eva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapshasi shashvatam.
Scion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode.
Text 63. Iti te gnanam akhyatam guhyat guhyataram maya vimrushya etad asheshena yata icheshati tatha kuru.
Thus, I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully and then do what you wish to do.
So Lord Krishna has summarized Bhagavad Gita and now he's saying that do whatever you wish, I have told you. So text 64. Sarva guhya tamam bhuya shunu me paramam vachaha isto ashime dridam iti tato vakshami te hitam.
Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
Text 65. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru Mama evashyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me.
Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear devotee.
So me means Krishna here. So Krishna is saying, always worship me, offer respects to him, and without fail, Krishna says you will go to Krishna.
So,
Then now this is a very famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita, text 66. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam praja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma suchaha.
abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
If we surrender to Krishna, Krishna will take care of us. Idam te na tapaka pasyaka na bhaktaya kadachana na chashu shushave vachyam na cha mam yobhya suyati.
This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Text 68. Ya idam paramam guhyam madabhakteshva vidhasyati bhaktim mai param krutva mama evashyati samshaya.
For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Text 69. न च तस्मान् मनुष्येषु कश्चित् जन्मे प्रियकृतः भविता भविता न च मे तस्मात् अन्यप्रियतरो भुवि.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
So one he means one who learns this and explains to others. Bhagavad Gita. Text 70. Adhyeshate cha imam dharyam samavadam abheyo gnana yagnena tenam istashyam iti me mati.
And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence.
71. Shraddhavan anasuyascha shunyad api yo naraha sopi mukta subalalokan prapnyut punya karmana.
And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell.
Text 72. Kashita etat shurvam partha tvaya eka agrena chetasa kashchit ajnana sammoha pranastaste dhananjaya.
O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Krishna is asking a question. Everything okay, Arjuna? So Arjuna says, Nashta moha smriti labdha tvad prasadam uchyate sthitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tavaha.
Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instruction.
Arjuna is saying, I am surrendered to you, Krishna. You tell me what to do. Sanjaya Vacha. So Sanjaya, who is hearing this conversation and describing to Dhritarashtra, all these shlokas are now going to be recited by Sanjaya until the end of the Bhagavad Gita. Sanjaya Vacha iti aham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmana samvadam imam ashrunam adbhutam romharsharam.
Sanjaya said, thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna. And so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on the end.
He is saying further, Vyasa prasadam shritvana etad guhyam aham param yogam yogeshwarat Krishna sakshat kathayanta swayam.
By the mercy of Vyasa, I've heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna.
Rajam samsmritya samvadam imam adbhutam Keshava Arjunayo punyam Rishyanti cha muhur muhur.
O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjun, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment.
So he's remembering this Bhagavad Gita again and again and he's enjoying it. Tachra samshra smrutya samsmrutya rupam ati adbhutam hare Vishmayo me mahan rajan Rishyami cha punha punha.
O king, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
So he's enjoying the conversation if he remembers again and again. And this is the last shloka of Bhagavad Gita. So here Sanjaya is concluding, he's summarizing, he's saying, Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjun, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. So we completed Bhagavad Gita. This is the 12th year. We read whole Bhagavad Gita from first chapter to last chapter. 12th year, right? Thank you everyone who are joining us online. Thank you Hiren Prabhu, Khyati Ben, Ronald, Parulji, Neil Prabhu, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you everyone who joined us here as well for blessing with your association. So wish you all the best wishes and we'll see you again. Hare Krishna.
11th year.
So those who are here, please take prasadam. Mataji, prasadam.